How do you even write a 140,000 word PhD thesis? Now, this is a question that I get all the time. For a lot of people who've never even attempted something like this before, or for those of you who know that you are going to have to write some sort of thesis, the end result seems totally overwhelming. And often that's the problem when we start any form of big project, is that we see what we need to get to, but we don't think about the steps to get there. And really, that's exactly how you're going to write your thesis, no matter how many words it is. You're going to take steps backwards from the end result to work out how you're going to get there. A 140,000 word thesis, it didn't just arrive fully finished. In fact, my own PhD thesis took around 2 years to write. Now, I did my PhD part-time, and in total, I spent 7 years doing that. But many of those early years were taken up doing the research. I had to gather information and evidence. There was no Google, there was no AI when I was doing it. I physically had to find the evidence myself and curate and collate it. And as I went along, I wrote up parts of that evidence. Now, today you might call that a literature review, but there wasn't always literature to write about. The PhD thesis that I ended up writing, I didn't actually know the structure of it early on. It took those years of research for the structure of my thesis to start to emerge, because I ended up writing a historical catalogue that tracked my subject of children's jewellery history throughout time. So starting from prehistoric times, going right through to today. But I didn't know at the very beginning of my research that that is what my thesis was going to be. And so yes, it's good to have a plan, but we also have to be flexible in that your plan might change as you go along. And so as I began to write up those little chunks of evidence over several years, I began to see patterns, and those patterns and chunks of work began to form what later became my chapters. Would you like to learn more about writing a thesis? Let me know in the comments.